Assalamu alaikum. A year ago, or maybe I think 2 years ago, I made a video on introspection. Actually, thinking about yourself, life, and what has happened to you, and what's happening around you, and so on. In that video, I basically discussed the fact that we as humans or as people, we really stopped introspection, we really stopped thinking, we stopped reflecting. And most of the time, it's as if we are designed to kind of take in all the time. Like we're watching reels, movies, videos, and like whatnot. We're doing something, but it's always that we're taking in information and we're not processing it consciously, and we don't really think about things anymore. Uh, we don't really reflect on much. So that video was on the benefits of reflection, on how you can it really benefits you a lot. And when I personally, like, if I reflect on a few benefits of self reflection, I would say, if you read any of the big authors, if you read any books, critically acclaimed novels, or books and so on, you see they are usually written by people who are very self reflective of their feelings, of how they feel, of how they think about things. Usually philosophy works when you reflect upon yourself. It starts from yourself. How come anyone would know about anything in their depth when they don't really think about it? Life has become so superfluous that you can say that we don't really uh, look into the depth of things. They're just fleeting by, and we ignore them. So I think that's usually due to our fast-paced lifestyle that has gotten. Uh, I think it's due to the reels that we watch, or the nature of social media, and what we see, and it doesn't give us time to catch our breath and to kind of reflect on ourselves and to think what we are doing. Self reflection is so beneficial that it actually makes you a good person. Because how else would you know about what you're doing is wrong, or mistakes within you, or the problems within you, if you don't sit down and think about your own acts? If you're just making decisions upon decisions without trying to think what you made, the decisions you made, and if they're good or not, how would you how would you actually understand what you did is right or wrong? I have seen a lot of people who you'd say they would be evil, like they would be the incarnation or the archetype of evil, but the thing that led them to be so, or to be thought of so, is the fact that they don't self reflect upon their own actions. They don't really think about what they're doing. They don't know why they just lied, or they just were rude to someone. They don't know why they did what they did. All of their actions are, you can say, based on instincts. All their actions are based on instincts. They don't really, they're not thoughtful of themselves, which is why in a lot of mashayikh, basically they give like different instructions to do muraqaba and so on, and all of these acts which lead to self reflection. And we are supposed to self reflect. And a person, as is famous, know thyself. A person whose actions are weighted, and his actions are thoughtful, is gonna be much wise and much wiser than a person who just acts on his instinct. And other than that, a lot of times we go through stuff, right? We lose people, we gain people, we our friendships, break, fall apart, and sometimes we make new friends and we go through life. If you don't have the time to process whatever happened, how are you gonna, like, in a healthy way, work upon that? How are you gonna do justice to your friendships and so on, or to people, if you don't even think about the nature of your friendships with them, or how you should act with them? A lot of times we turn out to be very rude to people without us knowing that we are so, because we are not thoughtful of our actions. So the reason I'm making this video is more of a reminder than a video, than to tell others. Because 2 years ago when I made that video, it was also a reminder. But now that I came to think of it, the past year or two, I think I wasn't self-reflective at all, and I really want to improve upon that. So I realized I should stop wasting my time on things, or I have a habit of always consuming something, watching a lecture or hearing something while I'm doing something. So even if I'm on my, on the road, I would listen to something which would always be me taking something in without processing them. So I think it's important for us to give ourselves some free time to kind of reflect. And another thing is that it sometimes gets so bad, and I hear a lot of people who say this to me, that they can't be left alone, because the moment they're left alone, all of their anxiety comes back, and they feel like, they feel very stressed and bad, because all of the bad things come back. It's because they've never learned to kind of sit with themselves and process their thoughts. They don't know how to think. They're not used to it. They're always used to keeping themselves busy. Give yourself some time. There's a therapy, there's a kind of a Japanese therapy which I think it works. It worked on me, at least. I tried that when I was going through something. So it's a therapy in which a person who is going through severe depression or something due to a reason, if there's like an actual reason, a physical, a reason, it's not an existential depression or something. So they are given a few days alone. They're told they're given, I think, a few hours, or if a few hours in a day, or a few days alone in a room, where they just have to be alone with their thoughts, and they have to kind of process whatever is in their mind. And our mind has this ability which a lot of people really don't know about. It's that our mind kind of, these knots, these our mind solves these knots, opens these knots. And these knots are basically our thoughts, our trauma, and our, all of the pain and suffering and whatnot. It basically unties them, these knots, and it actually makes your view clear on life. A lot of times when people go through some tough, they hit the rock bottom, you see them becoming philosophical all of a sudden. A guy who didn't really care about anything at all, he was literally just a goofy goober, and the second he's actually saying wise stuff, and then you ask him what happened to you, bro. Like, you changed, you've grown up, you're wise now. And then he tells you what he went through, and he hit rock bottom, and then he realized all of that is basically forcing you to self reflect on your actions. because you were not self reflecting, you are not introspective. The key word is introspection. You are not introspective of your acts. It forced you to basically, be introspective about your actions. As Freud, no, not Freud, as Carl Jung talks about a shadow. Basically, we through self reflection, through introspection, we come to know somewhat of our shadow, and the more we know about it, the more we can get towards betterment, because we can never know about our shadow unless we it's generally through an external source that we know about our shadow. Shadow is basically your alternate version, your alternate ego, which actually exists, but you don't really know about it. You're unaware. You may have seen an insufferable person who you would imagine, why are they who they are, or what they are? Why can't they change themselves? Why are they lying so much? Why are they so angry all the time? Or why are they so selfish or whatnot? Why are they narcissistic? But then you realize they don't really know that they are so, because their mind has hidden all of that from them, and it's due to their lack of introspection that they can't really know what they have, the issues that they have. So introspection actually solves all of these problems. It's a shame that our general lifestyle has gotten to a point of where we cannot afford even a second of introspection. Even before our sleep, we are watching videos, or using social media, or playing video games on our phones to fall asleep. That's odd. We need some time alone. And it's mostly, I'm saying this to me, because I realized that I need to improve upon this as well. Last year, I haven't worked on this that much, and I think it's something that we should work upon, and we should be introspective. So that's it. Jazak.